Kung Lee, you've known him for a few years. How would you describe him overall as a person?
Kung is like just awesome, man. He's done so much for me. You know, he took me under his wing when I moved here right after college. You know, I didn't have much. I was kind of struggling, so he took me under his wing totally, and has been really open with me. Allowed me to teach at his gym. Currently allows me and has allowed me for the last 3 years to run my personal training business out of his gym. So if you guys want to check out my personal training website, it's fitnessbyintensity.com. So if you guys want to get in shape, let's do it. But yeah, I mean, he's been awesome. He's really mellow, but very intense when it comes to training. So you may meet him, and yeah, it's really good because he kind of throws you off. You know, he's very mellow, very reserved, but when it comes to training, it's like horns come out, man. He's good, and he's awesome. He works with me. You know, I mean, the man could knock me out at any moment, but he knows how to put just enough pressure to get me better, but not to hurt me. So it's been cool.
Now, what was your reaction when you found out that UFC bought Strikeforce, and how do you think that like it will benefit you, or how do you feel about it overall?
I think it'll be great. My first initial thoughts were like awesome. You know, Uriah Faber put it in an interview saying it was the great Strikeforce fights with the marketing machine of UFC. So I thought that was kind of a good description. I was a little worried because I was signing a contract and it wasn't written yet. So I was kind of like, oh my God, what's going to happen with me? But I've been reassured it's going to stay the same and everything's going to be fine. And I'm supposed to sign the contract here in the next day or two. We'll see tomorrow. But, I'm sure things will change in the future. But right now, I think they're staying with the Showtime deal. And I think everything's going to kind of run the same. So I'm just happy to be getting exposure and that they want a contract.
Now, another fighter that fights out of Cesar Gracie is Nick Diaz, and he's going to be fighting Paul Daly on April 9th. How do you predict that fight going?
Uh, I'm a huge Diaz fan, man. I love Diaz, man. It sucks that I keep fighting his guys because I really like him. He's one of my favorite fighters. So I think Diaz is a better striker than Daly. Daly's a heavy-handed, but Diaz is going to overwhelm him, I think.
And how do you predict the fight going with Jake Shields and GSP?
GSP, I think is gonna win. I think GSP is he's just a neutralizer, man. He's gonna neutralize. He's gonna do whatever Jake doesn't want to do. But I mean, Jake's awesome. I think stylistically, if GSP was to lose, it would be to somebody like Jake, right? But I don't think he's gonna win. I think GSP is gonna win. But it would be great to see Jake win, Bay Area. I love Jake too. But if I had to bet on it, it would be GSP.
Teammates Rashad Evans and John Jones will be fighting. What do you think about teammates fighting each other?
Ah, you know what? The guys at AKA and Kung's Gym, we don't really, we try not to fight each other. Even before we were like really like I was training there all the time, we had offers for me to fight some of the guys over there, and we didn't really want to do that. Javier Mendez or Coach Kung. I would fight a teammate of mine or a friend of mine. It's business, but I understand why they don't want you to fight. You have to train together. There's going to be a certain amount of tension. So I think that me personally, I could fight somebody and not have that kind of tension with them later. But maybe they wouldn't be able to do that, and I could definitely see some personality types not being able to deal with that. But you know what? I think, since I'm on the outside, I think that Rashad Evans and Jones should fight, and it's awesome. And I'm a big fan of both of them, huge fan. But I think Jones is gonna win that fight. I think he's just crazy. That guy's just on a different level. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, since Josh Thornburg is fighting out of Stockton, he fights out of Stockton. He might be kind of more favored with the crowd. Is that a concern for you? Like the interaction that you get from the crowd.
No, not when I'm fighting. I think that yeah, I think you zone it out. I think if anything, like maybe not zone it out, but it's not going to affect me in a negative manner. I could say that. I think that if they cheer for him when he does something, it may affect the judges sometimes, where they're like the judges are getting a little more hyped up when the hometown boys get hitting the guy. But for me, it's more like that's motivation. I feel like I'm really good when I'm the underdog, or when somebody is not cheering for me or cheering for my opponent. Maybe I'm down on a fight. Like a lot of times I'll get hit, and it sounds stupid, but I know other fighters like this too, where you get hit and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm going, you know. So I don't think it's gonna affect me in either way. Maybe after the fight, you know, maybe after I get my hand raised, and I might be like, all right, in Stockton, let's go back to Livermore now, you know. But no, I don't think it's gonna affect me in a negative way. So.
Is there anything that you would like to tell your fans, the people that follow you, anything about your training, or share with the people that are a fan?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank my sponsors, KNOXX, of course. You guys have been there since my first fight. I really appreciate you guys. I'd like to thank 5150. I'd like to thank GFY Gear. I'd also like to thank the people that do a lot of body work on me, keep me healthy. Let's see, we got Score Clinic. They've been awesome. I got Key Chiropractic. I got Vision Quest, Spine and Sport, and Chris Shelton at the Morning Crane Healing Arts Center. And my number one fans over at Selly Group Realty. I'd like to thank you guys for the sponsorship as well.
Well, best of luck to you on your fight, April 1st, very few days from now. And for more information, go to knoxgear.com.